Good evening, everyone. Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another very important live video update tonight. Now, any of you who have taken a moment to actually read the title of tonight's video update will see that we have a real mixed bag of info to get through. Anything from fines to cash to politicians lying. I mean, shock horror, who would have thought, right? All the way through to even UFOs. So let's get straight into it, and let's start with the most concerning story first. And no, it's not the one about the UFOs. So in fact, it is actually the story detailing that, despite, of course, promising to do so, Jacinda Ardern and a number of New Zealand politicians have now actually refused to appear before a COVID inquiry. Now, obviously, I'm sure this isn't really, very shocking for most people, but it certainly should be concerning about what else they could, of course, be evading. So if you have missed it, here is the full story, and some of the things that they say just make you shake your head. It's entitled, "Shame! Jacinda Ardern and key ministers refuse to appear at COVID inquiry." Jacinda Ardern has drawn sharp criticism after refusing to front at public hearings for the Royal Commission of Inquiry into COVID-19, despite earlier stating she intended to assist. Ardern, along with former ministers Chris Hipkins, Grant Robertson and Aisha Varral, declined the Commissioner's request to appear in person during its second phase. The group argued the Commission had strayed from standard practice by seeking public testimony rather than private interviews, claiming the broadcast of their submissions would be likely to be tampered with and misused to spread misinformation. I mean, that's just a little bit rich coming from the very people that cherry-picked all of the studies themselves in order to roll out the COVID jab, saying, oh no, we don't want to say this publicly in case it gets, misused. I mean, imagine that. Like PCR tests were completely misused, that sort of thing. Wouldn't want that to happen. Commission Chair Grant Illingworth KC said the aim was transparency. We've been tasked with reviewing those decisions, and we thought it was important that the public see and hear for themselves important evidence about why some key decisions about the response to COVID-19 were made and for what reason, he said. The government at the time, through its ministers, made decisions about how we, as a nation, responded to that pandemic, which has implications for all of us. Seems pretty fair and reasonable to me. New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters slammed the decision, saying Jacinda Ardern, Chris Hipkins, Grant Robertson and Aisha Varral have all colluded and decided to decline to give evidence at the COVID-19 Royal Commission public hearings. Peters branded the move a betrayal of public trust. The podium of truth has become the podium of evasion. These former ministers do not want to sit in a public hearing and answer the hard questions that every New Zealander deserves to know. If ever there was a definition for a different kind of abuse of power, this is it. He accused them of undermining the entire action and purpose of the inquiry to avoid public scrutiny, and said they care nothing about public confidence, and worse, they are treating the entire public with disdain and contempt. These former ministers were at the heart of decisions that affected hundreds of thousands of New Zealanders, yet they refused to be held to account, Peter said. The public deserves an answer about why they are refusing to be publicly held to account. Although the inquiry has the legal power to compel witnesses to testify, Illingworth confirmed those powers would not be exercised. Why the hell not? If they have the power to compel these people to testify, why aren't they using those powers? Okay, this makes Mr. Commission Chair Grant Illingworth just as bad as Jacinda Ardern and the rest of the Muppets. Back in July, Ardern said she would assist the Royal Commission of Inquiry into the COVID-19 response. I mean, can you imagine a politician saying they'd do something and then not doing it? I mean, who would have thought? At the time, there was speculation about whether the former Prime Minister, now living in the United States, would be called to appear. A spokesperson stated that she had every intention of providing evidence if asked. Every intention, but no reality. pretty kind of typical when it comes to politicians, isn't it? All the hot air and all the promises, but no actual follow through. So the obvious question, to me at least, is what else are they not being held to account for? What other promises have they made but yet broken? And of course, if they're doing it in New Zealand, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're doing it right here in Australia as well. Now, speaking of things that they're doing here in Australia, have a listen to this latest little scam that could actually end up working in your favour. So this is a very short article, but I do urge everyone to go and look it up and bookmark it or print it off, because as you'll see in a moment, it could come in very handy. 3D printed number plate scam forces Victoria to cancel 5,000 plus fines. A sophisticated 3D printing number plate scam has forced Victoria Police to cancel over 5,000 speeding and red light fines in the past year. Criminals are producing perfect plate replicas, attaching them to stolen or matching vehicles and racking up offences under innocent drivers' names. Despite the 2023 rollout of holographic plate watermarks, plate theft has hit record levels with nearly 30,000 reports in the past 12 months. Police are warning motorists to secure plates with tamper-proof screws, keep plate numbers off social media, and report any suspected cloning immediately. Now, I know it's obvious, but I'll say it for some of the slow people in the room. If there were more police actually pulling people over, this wouldn't be an issue. But of course, they rely on this flash for cash system where the cameras just take photos of number plates and they have no idea whether they're real or whether they're cloned. If the police pull people over on the spot, they would be able to tell straight away. And of course, they'll be able to see whether the person driving actually matched the number plate. But hey, that's a whole different thing for a moment. What I want to make crystal clear at this point, of course, is that I'm not in any way suggesting that people go out and clone number plates and attach them to their vehicles or anything like that. That, of course, would be highly illegal. But what I am suggesting is that you can potentially use this to your benefit. How? Well, as we covered on this week's radio show just this past Tuesday night, the police and the courts love to rely on these onus laws, suggesting that just because you're the registered operator, not owner mind you, just operator, that you are somehow to be deemed guilty of an offence unless you nominate a particular person within a very short specific period of time. However, now, if you are armed with that article that I just read out, you could actually go into court and you could ask the police if they have any way to prove that your particular vehicle could not, whether it was or it wasn't, just whether it could not have been subject to one of those number plate scams, especially if you can provide proof that you were somewhere else at the time. So remember, all you're required to do in court is establish a reasonable doubt. That's all you need to do. Create reasonable doubt in your defence, and then the court has a judicial requirement to dismiss the charge against you. Now, we've covered that obviously in lots of webinars and seminars and books and all the rest of it. So if you can especially show that you were somewhere else at that point in time, how can they prove that your car could not have potentially been subject to this number plate duplication scam? Now, of course, if you want to know more information and more loopholes and incredibly successful ways to defeat all manner of unjust and unlawful fines, please do be sure to grab a copy of that truly license-saving Aussie Speeding Fines book. As always, you'll find a link in the description and in the comments as well. Now, speaking of beating fines, please do keep in mind that our upcoming court paperwork, court process and court procedure webinar is coming up in just over 2 weeks' time. Now, this vitally important webinar, we're going to be covering the difference between a contest mention and a contest hearing, what to actually do on your first court appearance, how to properly address the court, the difference between civil and criminal jurisdiction, how to challenge the jurisdiction of the court if they misbehave and don't pay attention to your arguments and the like, of course, as well as creating a strong paper trail, including the use of things like stat decks, affidavits, and outlines of submissions. Now, as of right now, this event is 70% sold out, and I believe at the time that I was preparing these notes for tonight's video, there is just one VIP ticket left. That is it. So don't be the one that misses out, okay? Jump onto that court paperwork webinar tab right now. There should be a link going up in the comment section if you're watching this on Facebook. Otherwise, just go to the seminar tab, then you'll see the webinar tab, and you'll see the various webinars under that. Click on that and do secure your seat before that event does completely sell out. Now, on the subject of that webinar, I've had a few people contact me concerned that there's some group that's holding some rallies on the same day. This has been sent through to me, the Australia, It's Time to Rise, and this is going to be on the same day on the 31st of August, and it's all about protecting our culture, our heritage, and our way of life, and wanting to put an end to mass immigration, which is all good and well and a great idea and a great principle. But as we already covered again on Tuesday night's show, okay, there are many ways other than attending rallies, okay, that you can take to stop that immigration without actually taking to the streets. And of course, the other point is, as I'm sure we all remember what happened during COVID, and that was that there were numerous rallies that were needed before anything was actually achieved. So if you missed that particular rally on that Sunday, I'm sure there are going to be more, and I can guarantee you're going to learn a lot more, okay, that's going to have a lot more positive impact to you and those close to you by attending that webinar rather than that particular rally on that particular day. Now, if you have, having said all that, if you have set your mind on attending that rally, then at the very least, I do urge you to please grab a copy of our affidavit and submissions CD. Okay, this is a new disc that we created recently. It's got a full 1 hour presentation all about court paperwork. It includes heaps and heaps of sample pages of stat decks, affidavits, outlines of submissions. They're all on that CD. So if you can't make it to that webinar or choose not to make it to that webinar, at the very least, grab that CD. Now, the other options, we have the triple pack, as you see here, which includes the affidavit and submissions disc. It also has the Freedom of Information and the Constitution Commission reports disc. Now, anyone who's done our other webinars will know the importance, especially of these two discs. And all of these work together, and you combine them, you put them into paperwork, and once that's filed, it simply cannot be responded to. Okay, so it's an extremely powerful pack. And again, you'll find links going up in the comment section if you're interested in that. If you're watching this on another platform, just go to our shop page and scroll through, and you'll find those there. All right, now on a completely different topic, I do want to share some very exciting news with everyone, and that is the fact that the RBA has now issued more physical banknotes than ever before. So again, I urge you to go and read this article because it is very, very exciting. And this is what it says. New cash record, more physical notes on issue than ever before. The banker's dream of a cashless Australia is dead and buried. The Reserve Bank of Australia reports today that a new all-time record has been established for the amount of cash circulating in Australia. The RBA issued an additional 175 million worth of banknotes last week to take the total value of Australian banknotes on issue to $104 billion, the first time that mark has been eclipsed in Australia. The Australians are turning back to cash, said Jason Bryce from Cash Welcome Campaign. The RBA data is clear. Cash withdrawals are strong. The value of notes on issue is booming. 2025 is the year Australians say no to the cashless society. The ABA and banks say that Australians don't want or need cash, but these numbers tell a different story, said Jason Bryce. I look forward to banks reopening their ATMs and bank branches to respond to changing consumer behaviour. The Australian Prudential Regulatory Authority and the Australian Payments Network reported Australia lost 926 ATMs in total over the financial year to June 2024 and 8,326 in the last 7 years. Banks have removed 217 bank-owned ATMs in the last 12 months and a staggering 8,338 bank-owned ATMs in the past 7 years. Cash Welcome is a campaign to protect our right to choose how we pay, backed by donations from consumers, business and the cash industry. I have a petition that has attracted over 200,000 signatures, which of course is absolutely fantastic. So that is a very, very positive start, but it's, by all means not all said and done just yet. We need to keep fighting. So on that point, I do of course urge everyone to please make sure that you do add your signature to Jason Bryce's petition, and that of course is the one to legislate a formal cash and banking guarantee in this country. Again, you can search for it online, or there'll be a link going up in the comment section. Now once you've done that, please make sure you also join our Call Out Cashless Businesses Facebook group. Let's continue to name and shame those businesses that refuse to accept cash, and be sure of course to join our our sister group, which is the Cash is King discussion group. And again, share these areas around far and wide so that people understand what this cashless push is really all about, and of course the dangers of it. Now, the final article that I want to cover tonight is one that addresses some comments that I made at the start of tonight's show. I've also made some comments on some previous videos, and that is that the powers that be seem to be trying to play this UFO or alien card. Now, we've all joked about it. I've shared some memes before about it here and there on some of these videos, and the thing is that the mainstream media just seem to be really ramping up this alien invasion narrative. Now, I've seen a bunch of articles come through on my Facebook feed, and there's all sorts of crazy headlines. I mean, here's some of these headlines here. You can see this one. Baba Venga was right. Scientists claim alien ship larger than Manhattan, moving at 1.3 lakh miles per hour to attack Earth this November. Here's another one with the big, beautiful picture of the alien ship. Scientists are tracking 3I Atlas, an interstellar object with a suspicious path, raising concerns about potential alien threats this year. Another one, they've got all sorts of fancy pictures and headings. A strange space object, ASCAP J1832-0911, is sending signals to Earth every 44 minutes, blinking in both radio waves and X-rays from 15,000 light years away. So all this stuff seems to be doing the rounds online, on social media especially. So, I mean, the obvious questions are the aliens really coming to destroy us? Are they maybe coming to save us? Or is this really just another distraction to take our focus away from all of the insidious things that are going on in the background, really, really important things like this underhanded push for this, online safety and the digital ID, both of which, mind you, we discussed in detail on Tuesday night's radio show. So please, if you are at all concerned about those things, the online safety bill, the Digital ID Act, all those sorts of things, which of course everybody who's watching this video really should be, please make sure that you listen to this week's podcast. It has been uploaded now for all members. And do just keep in mind, I know money is a bit tight for some people out there, so you can actually just join up as a podcast member just for 1 month, listen to all the podcasts you want, and then you can completely cancel if you want to. I mean, obviously I wouldn't recommend it. I'd urge you to stay on board as a member, but you can do that if you want to. So again, there should be a link going up in the comments to our membership info tab. Otherwise, just go to our website, knowyourrightsgroup.com.au, just click on the membership info tab, and that will show you how you can join up as a monthly member or as a yearly member, whatever you like. So you've got access to those podcasts and all that important information that we cover. But anyway, getting back to this alien invasion, what's really going on? Now, as always, I don't have a crystal ball, but the following article does make a lot of sense to me. So I haven't taken the whole thing. The whole thing does go for for quite a few pages, but I've got some of the key points here. So if this is of interest to you to find out a bit more, you can follow along and have a look yourselves. So it's entitled, Here We Go Again. Controversial paper questions whether interstellar visitor 3i Atlas is possibly hostile alien tech in disguise. A controversial new paper questions whether the interstellar object 3i Atlas is a potentially dangerous alien probe similar to claims made about Oumuamua, but experts have called it nonsense. The newly discovered interstellar object 3i Atlas could be a piece of possibly hostile extraterrestrial technology in disguise, according to controversial research from a small group of scientists, including a renowned alien hunting astronomer. Their paper, which has not been peer-reviewed, echoes similar claims previously made about Oumuamua, the first ever cosmic interloper that was discovered in 2017. But experts have told Live Science that the new claims are nonsense and insulting, and insist that the available evidence points toward the object being completely natural. Then there's the subheading, Alien Evidence. Most of the points laid out in the new paper relate to the unusual trajectory of 3i Atlas. The object is moving significantly faster than the only other known interstellar objects, Oumuamua and comet Borisov, which was spotted in 2019, and has entered the solar system at a different angle from its predecessors, approaching the sun side-on relative to our star's orbit through the Milky Way. Loeb wrote that the object's trajectory offer various benefits to an extraterrestrial intelligence that may be using it to subtly spy on Earth. One such benefit is that 3i Atlas will make relatively close approaches to 3 planets, Jupiter, Mars and Venus, and the minimum distances between the object and these worlds could enable aliens to discreetly deploy gadgets there, he wrote. Then there's the subheading, final one, controversial claims. Since 3i Atlas was discovered, researchers have been trying to identify it, and so far, the overwhelming consensus is that it is a comet. All evidence points to this being an ordinary comet that was ejected from another solar system, just as countless billions of comets have been ejected from our own solar system, added Samantha Lawler, an astronomer at the University of Regina in Canada, who specialises in solar system dynamics. Loeb admits that the alien technology scenario is a long shot. By far the most likely outcome will be that 3i Atlas is a completely natural interstellar object, probably a comet, he wrote in the blog post. So even the guy that's created the story behind the story, if you want, is actually admitting, well, yes, in all likelihood, it is really going to just be a comet. Now, look, I mean, personally, I would like nothing more than a good old alien invasion to come down and, create a proper, real global reset. Not the one that the elites are talking about, of course. But look, sadly, I don't think that's going to happen. So instead, of course, it falls back on us, okay, to keep fighting and standing up for our rights. So just before I wind up, quick reminder, jump on that webinar tab, which you will find under the Sebinar tab, and please secure one of those last remaining seats to that upcoming court paperwork, court process, court procedure webinar on the 31st of August. And then finally, of course, as I always do, I'm going to finish off with the latest testimonial from one of our members, and of course some more memes to get people thinking. So this is written from Kathy. You can see she's emailed us here, and of course she's included a copy of the withdrawal notice there. It says, hi there, great news. Following on from my email to you and after managing to obtain a letter from the GP, my infringement has been withdrawn. Many thanks for your assistance and guidance. And then here's the email letter. Dear Katerina, infringement notice, Thank you for contacting us about this fine. We've considered the circumstances you raised and the information you provided. We've decided to withdraw the fine on this occasion and issue a formal warning. So there it is in black and white. But, oh, this stuff doesn't work. The Aussie Speeding Fines doesn't work. Well, there it all is in black and white, 100% confirmation that once again, one of our members who's used that Aussie Speeding Fines 3-step process, okay, to successfully challenge a fine, and there's the proof in black and white that that fine was withdrawn. So if she's done it, then you can do it too. grab that book and just simply follow the steps all the way to the end if need be. All right, so we spoke about this big uptick in cash, which is fantastic. So someone sent us through a little photo there that you can pay via privacy, which of course has the lovely banknotes, or by surveillance, which of course is all your lovely tap and go cards. So we're talking about the COVID inquiry going on in New Zealand, and here you have a very, very comprehensive list of the pharmaceutical drugs that can actually heal you. And in case you can't see, that is a completely blank notepad. So some can make you feel a little bit better for a short period of time, of course. Some can take away the odd symptom here and there, but none of them are ever going to actually heal you. Only you can do that yourselves. Now, I'm sure everybody in Victoria, and probably many people outside of Victoria, have heard about these absolutely ridiculous, overpriced machete bins that have been rolled out along the across the state. And as you can see there, the Australian government has paid $325,000 for each of these machete bins, which are completely empty. Nobody's handed in any machetes whatsoever. And yet for $510,000, they could have got a brand new CFA truck. So who on earth are the people in government authorising these deals? If that is not someone scratching someone's back or some under the table deal, I don't know what is. It is an absolute joke. And until we all rise up and get fired up and send letters to these politicians calling them out on this insanity, they're just going to keep getting away with it. So as the saying goes, if it is to be, it's up to me. Don't leave it for someone else to do. You take the time to write a letter to your MP, send them a copy of that meme if you want, and say, who the hell authorised these bins, which nobody's used, at $325,000 a pop, but yet you can't pay for some new CFA trucks? It's absolutely insane. And then the final one I'm going to leave you with is this. For those of you who are, thinking about that rally that I mentioned before, this at the end of the day is what it's all about. And that rally, of course, just addresses one part of it. So as it says, beware of the government that disarms its people. And we saw good old Johnny Howard do that. Beware of a government that introduces a culture not compatible with its people, which of course is exactly what's going on right now. And of course then it's beware of a government that gives generously to foreign aid and totally disregards its own people, which of course we've seen in particular over the past few years. So I'm going to leave things there for tonight. And as always, I do urge you to please get fired up. Get this information and take action. Be proactive. Okay, there's tons of completely free information on our website. These videos, as always, completely free to watch. You'll find them on our BitChute channel, our YouTube channel, the videos tab on our Facebook page. It's all out there for you to access. Our radio shows, as I said, completely free to listen to every second Tuesday night. Well, they're completely free to listen to every Tuesday night, but we replay and do one live, one on alternating weeks. And if you've missed any of the past podcasts, then you can join up as a podcast member for less than $5 a week. So it is affordable for absolutely everybody. And as I said, you can just join up for 1 month at a time if you really want to. Now, of course, if you want to go above and beyond that, then we do, of course, recommend our Know Your Rights book, the essential step-by-step manual for understanding and exercising your rights. As I said before, that Aussie Speeding Fines book for successfully challenging all manner of unjust and unlawful fines. As I keep saying, these guys have been around for 18 years now, and every week or so I read out yet another testimonial for someone who's taken the time, read the book, learnt the info, followed the steps, and had a successful outcome. And of course, we do know a lot of people are struggling financially, so please stop throwing good money after bad at these unsecured loans, your credit cards, your personal loans. They can be very easily written off or discharged by following the tried, tested, and proven steps in that book. So you can get these individually. There's links in the description. You can get them all together as part of the combo pack. And of course, you do get that tote bag included as a little bonus, completely free of charge. Now, I am wearing tonight my very special The People versus Dan Andrews cap. A big shout out and a thank you to Jackson Moon and all of the people working behind the scenes at the Bike Boy scandal. I've spoken about it on some recent videos. We've spoken about it on recent radio shows. So please, there will be a link going up in the description. There should also be something going up in the comments. That'll take you to that GoFundMe page. So if you want to see Daniel Andrews held to account, unlike what seems to be happening across the ditch with Jacinda Ardern, then please give generously to the Bike Boy scandal, and let's ensure that that does happen. As I said, our webinar filling up fast. As I said, I dare say by the end of this video or the end of tonight, that one single VIP ticket will be gone, but there are still some standard tickets left, so be sure to grab those. If you can't make it to the webinar or our other live events, please make sure you grab a copy of our home study course. It does include a complete recording of one of our 2.5-day live events. There's 17 DVDs there that you can pause, rewind, fast forward in the comfort of your own home. 3 custom-made workbooks with sections to write notes next to every single slide from every single presentation, and it is a fantastic resource that you'll come back to again and again and again over the years. So there's links to those in the description. Don't forget as well that affidavit and submission CD. If you want all of the sample paperwork, the affidavit submissions, you can just cut and paste your own details in and then file those with the court very, very easily. That's been very, very popular too. So no live radio show next week, but we will, of course, be back with the next live video update on Thursday night. Until then, have a fantastic weekend and take care.